Noah, please define farm management in your perspective.
In my perspective, farm management is all about data and the ability to make decisions based on past practices. And I'll give a short example to explain exactly
Just
what I'm
take into
talking about.
consideration we have about 20 more minutes or 25,
I will be
so
quick.
2.5 minutes per question, not more,
Absolutely.
please. Thank you.
So I'll give a short example just to give everyone an overview of the Negev and what we're doing here. So verticillium, I don't know if you heard about it, it's a pathogenic disease. It can stay in the soil for more than 10 years, 15 years. And it damages the crops in the Negev, and it's a well-known challenge. And just imagine, so you have a specific crop, and then you plant another specific crop, and it gets contaminated. So if we had a platform that can basically design and the plots, and you can see exactly where you're planting everything, you can see what happened in the past 15 years in your soil, where things were contaminated, how you can reorganize your infrastructure to make the most out of your plot and basically keep it healthy and more sustainable.
Fredrik, what is your take on the same question? Namely, how would you define farm management?
So I think farm management is something that has been around for forever. It just has been evolving into what we see right now. So in the past it was someone who was the farm manager, and today it's also someone who is the farm manager, but today that person has an extensive help from digital. So it's basically a digital layer put on top of the entire farm, so capturing data from different parts of the farm, bringing it up to the cloud to optimize, get help to take insightful decisions, and even automate big parts of the decision making in a farm to optimize yield, optimize profitability in the farm, basically.
Thank you, Fredrik. Noah, how do you address those kinds of agricultural challenges, as now discussed by both of you, as an incubator in the Negev?
So as an incubator in the Negev, and you all know the adverse climate conditions in the Negev, and we see the rippling effects of climate change and the way more and more areas in the world are beginning to look like the Negev. It is our goal to bring technology that is green and environment sustainable, but the most important thing as an incubator, we also look at the ecosystem. And we collaborate with the farmers in the Negev, which in my opinion are leading and paving the way for sustainable agriculture. But not just them. We also collaborate with strong powerhouses such Gilat Research Center, the local areas and the R&D centers in the Negev, and Western Negev AgTech cluster. Together with the farmers and all the local entities, we identify the challenges and work together to solve them. Not just that, as an incubator, we invest in companies that are committed to the environment. For example, our portfolio company, Fungi Biosolutions, that created a solution, a green solution for dealing with pathogenic fungi. Also, our portfolio company here today, Exterion, is also presenting here. So that's our goal, and collaborate in a main word.
Thank you, Noah. Tomer, some say that farm management is a broad and overused term. How would you define farm management, and how is CropX differentiated?
So I agree. It's a broadly used and overused term by many. So I know so many multinationals, so many startups. Everybody says I have a farm management system, and everybody means something else. So if I would try to break it down, I think we have three main groups of farm management systems. One of them is more from the farm operational side, so like ERP for the farm. Companies such as Conservice talk about recording tasks on the farm, labor management, etc. The other group is more on the machine side, so taking machine data and providing like a visualization layer on top of that, or automation, etc. And that's, I think everybody knows Climate Corporation FieldView or John Deere's Operations Center. The third group is the one that, in my view, CropX is leading, and that's agronomic farm management. So farm management from the agronomic perspective, essentially telling farmers how to do their agronomic tasks better. So irrigation management, fertilizer management, crop protection, etc. So, for example, where, when, and how much to apply water. And that's kind of how I view this term. So now, in terms of CropX specifically, how do we intend to win? So I think there's so many companies out there, and a lot of them are able to prove that they can provide value to farmers, increase yield, save inputs, and I think that's become kind of a standard. But I think we're able to do that in a scalable way. Very simple. Our hardware, do it yourself, installed by farmers in 5 minutes. Software is, again, you get insights in 2 clicks of a button, and I think that scalability drives adoption.
Thank you, Tomer. As you said, farm management is a big buzzword. I would like to ask Fredrik.
I didn't say that.
Well, that inferred.
Overused.
Overused, okay. So it's overused. And the fact is that only few companies are successful from a revenue perspective. And I want to ask Fredrik why. What are the limiting factors to that?
Yeah, I think this is still a fairly early market. A lot of companies are early stage, and they are basically going through the same journey, all of them, innovating around the new technologies of IoT and AI and so on, bringing products, bringing services, doing field tests with customers, proving the value for the customers, doing all of these things. The consolidation has not really yet started, only briefly. There will be a consolidation coming where it's all about simplifying for the end user. They don't want 10 different apps to manage their farm. They want like one app. They really want it to be easy to use and so on and so forth. So there is a lot of consolidation that is going to happen before this market really takes off, my view.
Thank you, Fredrik. Arnon, how do you foresee the farm management ecosystem in a few years? Fredrik started to discuss it. Will there be a system of systems? Will there be an application that covers everything? What technology, etc.?
So first of all, I 100% agree with what Fredrik said, and I think the farmers are looking for something that connects the dots. They don't want to work with so many platforms, so many companies, so many support centers, customer success, etc., etc. And I believe that in a few worlds, the farm management world will look a little bit like the cloud hosting world looks today. So there will be a few bigger ones that either through development or acquisition build themselves, but also through partnerships, and they will have quite a complete offering. But it will be a very, very open world of co-opetition where everyone can connect to everyone, because there's just too many systems out there and no one will be able to actually answer that need on itself alone.
Why farm management systems are not widely used? What are the main limiting factors, barriers for adoption at the moment?
So I think the answer differs a little bit depending on the application. So it's not exactly the same answer for extensive rain-fed crops and for irrigated crops. But high level, I think that the answer is that we still, or the farmers still, find it too complex, both in the implementation as well as in the ongoing operation. And they work for the system more than the value that the system delivers. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but in order to make the point, that's the main issue. And our challenge is to actually make it much easier, to make the connectivity between the various platforms in the field much more insightful and much more coherent and seamless.
Okay. I would like to ask all of you, two can choose who will answer. So after we heard all of that, what does the future of farm management look like?
Can I answer? Oh, thanks.
An open question.
So first of all, I believe that farm management needs to be part of an integrated solution. There are two types.
On which we will talk soon.
Okay. So
Yeah, but you can relate to it. That's okay.
okay. So you can have a point solution that solves a very big pain point for the farmer. For example, one of our companies, FruitSpec, gives a solution to something like that. They count the fruit, they give you the size distribution, and you can go into actionable items you can actually perform agrotechnic on the farm in order to increase your yields and increase your benefit. So that's one type of a farm management solution. You don't just give them what you see, you actually tell them what you can do. So agrotechnic solutions. And the second one is really streamlining the supply chain and finding out who your customer is there. Sometimes it's not the farmers, sometimes it's up the chain going into the packing houses or into the food and beverages companies.
Tomer?
Well, I just think that agriculture is not going to remain the only industry that's not digitalized. It's not a question of if, it's happening